Hello, how are we all doing? Welcome back. How's things? How's tricks? Good to see you. We are live for Bournemouth against Manchester City. Big game, this one. Bournemouth are in. Must be. It's 1-0 Bournemouth. Oh my God, what a fast start. Oh, he's offside. Oh, he's offside. Just about. Oh, El Krupi. Krupi there, nearly getting in front. Bournemouth very nearly 1-0 up here. I don't think there's anything wrong with this one, you know. He beats him. Oh, you absolute donut. You absolute donut. How's he done that? How's he done that? That's shocking. Honestly, that is so poor from the centre forward, isn't it? That is horrific play for a centre forward. All you've got to do, you're looking across the line. You're looking across the line. All you've got to do is hold your run. He's so quick as well. He don't need to do that. He could have slid in. The ball's actually behind him. The ball's even behind him. That's so poor from the centre forward. I know he's only a young player, but he's got to do better there. Must do better. Morsum, I've never seen a worse ref in the old firm, ever. I think from what I've seen, I've only seen the Asgard tackle. I think that one was a red card, but I don't know about anything else. I've not seen anything else. City. I still fancy City to win here. Here's Haaland up the left-hand side. Whew. Morsum says, mate, a Celtic player stomps on Butland's head and is only given a yellow. I haven't seen that. I was going to say I'll watch the highlights later, mate, and we'll talk about it again tomorrow. But I haven't seen it as yet. Reece, Bournemouth looked dangerous. Bournemouth did very, very well there to get in down the left-hand side. I just feel like Krupi's got to do better. Got to do more when he gets in that position. Got to stay on side. Here's Haaland. This is better from City. Come on, I'm rooting for City here. We need Liverpool and City at it. Properly at it if Arsenal are going to be taken out of this title race. Morsum, another player handballs in the box and isn't given a yellow either, and it would have been a second yellow. Yeah, I know, but if it just handball in the box doesn't necessarily mean a second yellow. You're not getting a yellow card for that. If he gave the penalty, and he did, didn't he? He did give the penalty. I don't think you give a yellow card for that. JB the Reds hoping for 3-1 to City. Yeah, I think so too, man. That was my shout anyway. Purposely though, he puts his hand in front on purpose. I'd have to see it, but very few handballs are that way, are purpose. You can never really tell if someone's intentionally handballed it in the box. It's usually like the ball's been flicked up and it's kind of hit the hand, or it's rare. It's rare that you see a deliberate movement of the hand towards the ball, because the ball's usually moving so quick. But I'll take your word for it. We'll see. I'll have a look. And I'll let you know next time if you're on. Doctor Who Mania says, how many losses before Arsenal out of the title race? How many losses before Arsenal out of the title race? What do you mean? It doesn't necessarily have to be losses. Arsenal could draw lots of games. They could go undefeated for the rest of the season and still not win the league. It's entirely possible. Arsenal's biggest issues will be probably draws this season. Morsum, he falls and puts his arm down to stop the ball from going below him. Well, then that might be the fact that he's falling, and it could be construed that he's using his hand for balance. There's sometimes that I don't know, mate. I've not seen it, so I have no idea. But sometimes it can be that. We've seen that happen many a time, haven't we, where players have been falling, they put their hand out to the ground and it's hit their hand as it's hit the ground, and that's sometimes it can be construed as I was putting my hands out, it was a natural reaction to stop myself hitting the floor kind of thing. Cheers for the follow, B. Thank you very much for that. Pup says, full time, Celtic 3, Rangers 1 after extra time. Here's Doku. Chance for City. Foden. Oh, it's gone behind for a corner. Big chance there. B, what did you make of the performance last night? I thought we were terrific. Absolutely terrific from minute one. It was night and day. If you want to go and check out, you can go and check out my full videos are on the YouTube channel where I've done a match reaction video, 3 things we learned from the game, and player ratings videos. So if you want to go and check them out, Key Thomas, Premier League Dad, go and have a look. But everything that I said is on there, but I thought we were absolutely magnificent from minute one. The midfield was brilliant. McAllister, fantastic again. For the first time this season, McAllister was back to his best. And I personally would have given... I know man of the match got given to Szoboszlai, but I would have given it to Salah, or maybe... Gravenberch was great as well. The midfield 3 was particularly brilliant, but Salah was special last night. Right, corner to Manchester City. Tyler Adams has just put it behind for a corner, and O'Reilly has come forward for the set piece. Foden, left-footed, outswinger. Haaland, unlucky, and now Bournemouth on the counter. This is going to be one of them games, this, honestly. It's looking like a really, really good game already. This is better. Bournemouth are in. That's a penalty, referee! Is he giving it? Oh, he got away with one there. Got away with one there, City. Lucky, lucky boys. Very, very lucky. JB the Red, this game's going to be end to end. It's looking like it so far, isn't it? Yeah, it's looking like a really good game so far, this one. Enjoying it. It's a free kick to Bournemouth here. Floated over to the far side. Straight out of play. It's going to take a big shift, I think, for City to really start challenging at the top of the league, because the midfield area is a real problem for City. I think it's gone from being the area of the pitch that they were most solid, that midfield 3, to maybe the area of the pitch that they're most vulnerable. They just lost in the middle of the park. The wide players, we know Doku and Haaland and Foden and Savinho, and these can hurt opposition teams. It's less of an issue, that. And the defence, I think, is still pretty sound. Diaz and Donnarumma and Gvardiol, and these are players again who we can rely on defensively, but the midfield just gets ran through time and time again. Swifty, could Alex Scott become an England midfielder? Well, still young-ish. Is he? How old is he now? How old is he, Alex Scott? Oh, he's only 22. Yeah, he is still young, isn't he? Yeah, I guess he could do. He's still young. He's still playing for England under 21s. Or at least he was up until recently. Thomas Sampson, did you see Freddie Potts today for West Ham? He looked the nuts. I thought he was really good today, Potts. Yeah, to be honest, mate, I thought Paquetá and Manuel Fernandes were brilliant. They were sensational today. Absolutely fantastic for you. I thought they were different class from minute one, and that was the difference for West Ham. But yeah, Freddie Potts was good. Should have scored as well, shouldn't he? That goal should have stood, in my opinion. Although it was ruled out for offside, wasn't it? Sorry, I thought it was ruled out for the for the foul, but it wasn't. It was offside, wasn't it? So I tell a lie. He was unlucky not to score, but I thought he played well. Three-star Reds, I learnt plenty from last night, Keane. It's safe to say in 2 weeks' time Liverpool are screwed. Aye, we'll keep our eye on that one, mate. Here's City, chance, Foden. Oh, over to Haaland. This is a big chance. Unlucky. Good save. Thomas Sampson says, yeah, Solchak boot was off by a millimetre. And B, what does Slot do now with Kirkes, Vert and Isak? What do you mean, what does he do with them? I guess there's still players that will play a massive part for Liverpool. Personally, I think Kirkes... Isak you could have put in that side last night. Ekatike didn't do anything last night, really. So I don't think Isak... I think Isak, when he's fit, comes straight in. Vert, I think... Maybe it's a gradual thing. You've got to remember he's still only 21, 22. He's still very, very young. So it's probably right that he sort of interchanges with Robertson a little bit throughout the season. And Vert, I think it's just getting him up to speed physically. Physically, he looked a little bit off it for a lot of the season, but I feel like he's coming into his own a little bit now. He bounced a couple of Villa players when he came on last night. So maybe it's just time. Again, a lot of players when they come to the Prem, they do take a little bit of time to adapt. So yeah, it might be the case with Vert. With Isak, it's just about fitness, and with Kirkes, it's probably his age. So we'll see all three probably become pretty settled Liverpool starters by, I would say, just after Christmas. JB the Red, I think this season is going to be one of preparation and testing new players. Yeah, it always is when you sign loads of new players and let a lot of key players go. It's always going to be difficult. Dylan, Liverpool v Real Madrid will be a great match. Yes, it'll be a good one, won't it? I'll enjoy seeing exactly how we set up in that one, though, because I'm not entirely sure whether or not we go how we did last night. Or if he tries to bring some of the other lads back in. I don't know. Bournemouth dominating possession so far, it has to be said. It's an interesting start here, you know. I didn't think we would see this sort of a game. Bournemouth have started very, very well. They've been really, really composed in possession. City haven't really had a sniff, and they've already had a goal disallowed in the opening sort of 5 minutes. So Bournemouth so far definitely dominating, definitely the better team. Swifty, very confident Bournemouth. They are, aren't they? They're looking it, aren't they? Really, really confident on the ball. Very composed. City can't get a sniff of it. The City just keep knocking it long. It's crazy, isn't it? It's like we've had a flip of the teams in the Premier League and what they're doing. And maybe this is why Arsenal are starting to thrive, because direct physicality and all that sort of stuff is starting to become a little bit more popular again. 3-star Reds, is Real v Liverpool this week, Key. It is, yep. Tuesday night, mate. Live for it. I'm scared a little bit. Ruben Diaz put under pressure by Tavernier, and it's going to be a City throw. Swifty, in the way Mourinho became an old-fashioned manager, is Pep heading the same way? I think so. Yeah, possibly. It might just be that football shifts like that. B, I wish I had your faith in the three boys. They have all the hallmarks of expensive flops at the moment. I don't know what you mean by expensive flops. Certainly not with Kirkes, mate. I think Kirkes has done really well. At times, we've been exposed down that side, but I don't think that's been due to Kirkes. I think that's been large. Oh, City are in. Haaland 1-on-1. There you go. 1-0. There you go. You can put your house on him when he's clean through like that. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And City 1-0. And it's totally against the run of play, you know. He's so good though, Haaland. He's just like a racehorse. As soon as the ball gets played through there. Do you know what? And we've talked about Bournemouth being really composed on the ball, really good. And they have been. But it's kamikaze offside traps playing like that. You can't play that high against Manchester City and not expect Haaland to be stood on the halfway line just waiting for it, and the ball gets played over the top, and it's 1-0 from that moment. The halfway line may as well be the goal line, basically, because as soon as the ball crosses that halfway line and Haaland's 1-on-1, that's him done. Look how high the last centre-back is there. Why are you that high? Why are you trying to press up? Oh my God, it's stupid. Stupid. Honestly, he's got to stay with Haaland there. Who is that last centre-back? Who is that last centre-back? Ah, you've had an absolute nightmare there. An absolute nightmare. He's tried to press. Who is it who he goes for there? He's tried to jump on Bernardo Silva. Yeah, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. It's not Bernardo Silva, it's Cherky, sorry. He's tried to jump on Cherky and just very, very silly. I think it was Senesi. Marcos Senesi. Silly. Silly defending from Marcos Senesi there. He's the last man, the final man defending for Bournemouth. He tries to jump up on Cherky. Cherky just knocks it over past him and Haaland's clean through. Great finish. Man City 1, Bournemouth 0. Hey, how about that then? And now City look like they're coming into their own a little bit. They've grown in confidence. That goal's completely changed things. Doctor Who Mania says he's absolutely unstoppable. Haaland is just ridiculous, man, says Unknown. And D. Nickel, who scored? Yeah. B says Kirkes has been the worst. So much better when Robertson plays. Mate, Robertson was responsible for the Chelsea goal. Like, for whatever criticism you're going to throw at Kirkes, you can equally throw it at Robertson. Yeah, Robertson's not been significantly better than Kirkes. He's just more experienced. But yeah, Kirkes is not an expensive flop when you look at the fact he's literally 21, mate. 21, 22. Like, you've got to give players time. 9 games is not enough for a 21, 22-year-old player. And the same could be applied to Wirtz, who is also 22. You know, these are young players. Takes a lot of time. Swifty, Senesi out of contract this summer, I think. I thought he'd be a really good signing for them. When he came in from Feyenoord, I think he'd have been the one to sort of kick on, but he's just not done it really. He's been a pretty poor signing for them in the end, hasn't he? Be yourself, Dylan. I have 112 points in my fantasy team so far. Nice. FC 35. Sack Eddie Howe. Sack Eddie Howe. Who would you appoint? Who would replace him? JB the Red, why have we given Robbo vice captaincy? He's not even playing. I think it's because, and I could be wrong on this. I could be wrong, but I think it's something to do with I don't know. It's difficult to say, but there was a suggestion put forth that the club didn't want to make Mo Salah captain, And one of the reasons they didn't want to make Mo Salah captain was because of his outward views politically, let's say. He was expressing views that maybe were one way or another in a very, very difficult situation, and for that reason the club didn't want to take a stance. Now, how true that is, we don't know. But it was certainly an opinion that was put forth that I read, and I was thinking, well, that maybe makes a little bit of sense that the club just don't want that hot potato, and they're thinking to themselves, well, maybe Andy Robertson, he's just as easy to make vice captain, so it makes sense. And to be honest, Salah has still taken vice captain. He's still vice captain in all but name. He's leading in the dressing room. He's doing all of the media briefings just alongside Van Dijk. He's just not got the label. But I think that's maybe one of the issues. I don't know. Could be wrong. John Nolan says, I just feel more comfortable watching the team when Robbo plays. Kirkes will become good, though. And B says, young, but he had a nightmare start. Liverpool's performance level has been much better with Robbo. Yeah, I'm not sure I agree. I think Kirkes has done well in moments when he's played for us. I think he was brilliant against Arsenal. I thought he was fabulous against Arsenal. He completely pocketed Madueke against Arsenal. It was a great performance from him. Yeah, scores against Brentford. Thought he did quite well against Brentford. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see a huge problem with Kirkes. I think Kirkes is okay. I'd be quite happy to keep him in the defence. But I also understand why Kirkes has been sort of drip-fed in. You know, you start Robertson some games, you start Kirkes some games. I can understand that. That's smart. And it's the same thing with Florian Wirtz. It's just that maybe people are a little bit less understanding with Florian Wirtz than they are with Kirkes, even though they're effectively the same age. People seem to think, well, Florian Wirtz is 100 million, therefore we have to play him every single game and he should start every single game. But it's the same rule applies, doesn't it? That you have to take time bedding these players in, and if you don't, especially when you're trying to get a new system as well, it's not like you're just slotting them into the same system. It's a completely new system. You've got to take a little bit of time. B says, fair enough about Arsenal, but he was awful against Brentford, even if he scored. He was awful against Brentford. Oh, I disagree. I thought he was good against Brentford. Forget that he scored. Like, he scored, that was good, but I thought he got forward quite well. Unknown, if you actually watch Wirtz play, he's not been poor, he's just not got any assists or goals. Yeah, no, I agree. He played well when he came on in that little 15-minute cameo last night. Bounced a couple of Villa players and, you know, he was part of a few of the counter-attacks. Salah just didn't find him, but I thought he's still a valuable player for him. Oh, here we go. Is it 1-1? It is! Tyler Adams has volleyed it in. What a finish that is. It's horrific from Donnarumma. Oh, Donnarumma's had a shocker here. There's a claim from Donnarumma to Anthony Taylor here. They want to get a foul for this. I don't think it's a foul at all. I think Donnarumma's had a howler. The keeper came for it. He didn't get anywhere near it. Donnarumma's screaming at the linesman for a foul. Let's just watch this back. Does he have any claim for a foul here? Nah, you can't. Listen, he's a big lad. He's a big lad. He's come out there. Nah, you're not getting a foul for that. That's shocking. That is absolutely shocking from Donnarumma. And Matt, I've thought the competition at left back now for Liverpool has sparked Robbo into life. Again, very true. Many people were really critical of Andy Robertson last season, weren't they? I mean, I wasn't. I was one of the ones who said I thought he's done pretty well for the most part, but won the title as well, you know, starting at left back. But inevitably, he was one of the scapegoats for Liverpool last season, and it's carried in a little bit into this season with Kirkes instead. So yeah, Liverpool fans are just like all other fans. They need a scapegoat when things aren't going right, and unfortunately, it's fallen on the new signings for a lot of people. But I don't think there's any evidence at all to suggest that Kirkes, Isak or Wirtz are bad signings so far. don't know how he's got the cheek to claim that as a foul. The ball comes across. He goes. There's nobody near him. It's shocking goalkeeping. And Tyler Adams just volleys it into an empty net. Easy peasy. No chance of a foul there. Absolutely none. It was a terrible punch, wasn't it? Crazy thing is that Anthony Taylor is from Altrincham, not a million miles away from Manchester City. He's literally living and born in Greater Manchester. So it's mad that he's a ref for this one. B, who will be first choice striker? Ekitike, surely. Yes. Well, for now he will be, but I don't think he is. No, long term I think it's Isak. I think as soon as Isak's back fit, Isak goes straight into the side. So yeah, I'd be putting Isak in at centre forward as soon as he's back fit and comfortably fit, and we need to get him starting at centre forward. Matt, Anthony Taylor is not my favourite referee. He's questionable, isn't he? Bournemouth deserve to be level, says Swifty. Yeah, they do. Reece, City have been poor. They've had one moment in the game, City, haven't they? And Haaland just got put through and that was it. And it's lethal from that moment on. But City have had more shots on target, more possession. So maybe we're a little bit harsh on City. I don't think they've been poor. But I would absolutely agree that Bournemouth have been impressive and City have just not really done an awful lot in the final third. But they're coming forward now. That's good defending from Bournemouth. Doku. Foden, what a touch. Unlucky. And now City come in. Get it away. Oh, that's great play. Fabulous play. City are doing really well here. They're in the box in a very tight area. It's going to be a corner. There's a claim for a penalty. Claim for a penalty. Anthony Taylor's screaming. It's a corner kick. The referee is absolutely surrounded by both Bournemouth and City players. Let's see this one back. Yeah, you're never getting a penalty for that. Come on. Never getting a penalty for that. Never. It comes up off his knee for foot. Never getting a pen for that. Never, ever, ever. B says, I don't know, I really like Ekitike. I like Ekitike as well, man. I think what happens long term is that we have two strikers. I think Isak and Ekitike play together. Sometimes Ekitike plays off the left. Sometimes they play as a two. Sometimes one's on the bench. I think we're just going to have that type of a situation with him. Why is this going to VAR? It bounced up off his leg. It bounces up off his leg onto his hand. It's not a handball. For God's sake. Why is there such an incessant need to check this stuff? It's not handball. It's never handball. Yeah, corner kick. Thanks. Appreciate it. Matt, how do you rate Mamardashvili? I think he's been really, really good for us. Since he's come in, I've not got any concerns with him at all. I think he's done really well. Oh, nearly 2 for City. Yeah, I think he's done really well. Couple of games where obviously we've lost, and when you look at, Liverpool conceded 3 against Brentford. He couldn't do anything for them 3. None of them 3 goals he had any say in. Don't think he could have done anything in the United goals. Yeah, I think there's been... It's been difficult for Mamardashvili. He's come in at times when Alisson's... It's always going to be a downgrade on Alisson, isn't he? Because Alisson's the best keeper in the world. But he's still a really good keeper. I like him. Mark Russell Davis, are we witnessing the worst Scottish football has ever been in terms of quality? I think we're seeing what basically is the succession of a lack of investment in the SPL and players leaving whenever they get half decent. Look at Hamza Digamane. Look at Morelos. Look at players like that. As soon as they get half decent, they tend to bugger off, don't they? And it just feels like this is what happens with Celtic and Rangers. Anytime they get a decent player, they're gone. So Scottish football isn't a destination anymore. It's a byway. It's a pathway, and it's not even the best pathway. Players don't look at Scottish football as I'll go there for a year or two, play Champions League football, and then go to a Premier League club. Back in the day, it was never that. Back in the day, there was players going from the Premier League up to Scotland. There was players going from La Liga to Scotland because Rangers and Celtic, were really, really good sides. Henrik Larsson going there, and players going Brian Laudrup and players like that. There was always really good players going to Scotland. It's just not the same anymore. And now, there's players even choosing to go in the Championship over the SPL. Matt, VAR should be brought back to the clear and obvious mistakes. I wonder if we should maybe get 3 challenges a game. And that's it. Like 3 or even just one. Even just one challenge a game. You get 1 challenge a game and that is it. And if the referee gives a decision after you've already used your challenge, like unlucky, it just kind of is what it is. Timbo, Scottish football is a stepping stone for youngsters or a last move for Premier League rejects. Haaland, chance, it's 2. What a finish from Haaland. Oh, this guy is absolutely unplayable at the minute. It's a great goal. It's a fabulous goal, that. He just rounds the keeper. Do you know what? I think the keeper should do better here. Someone just said in the chat, I really, really rate this goalkeeper. I've got to say, I think he should have done better here. Cherky with his second assist. Let's just watch this one back. They break the line here, City. It's a great pass from Cherky, that. That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. And again, I just don't understand why are Bournemouth playing so high? The City keeper, I know he's clean through on goal, but I think the Bournemouth keeper's got to do better here. I think he gives him a decision to make and then he just taps it into an empty net in the end. He's actually not human. B says challenges would be a good idea. Captains get the call. Mark Russell Davis, absolutely spot on with everything you said. Scottish football demoting Rangers to the 3rd division was daft. An unknown said he's actually not human. Timbo, I said Cherky is going to be better than Wirtz and got pelters early days, but he's defo started better. So he started better. Cherky's been injured for most of the season. I'm not sure I would say that Cherky's been unbelievable for City this season. I don't think you can't say you're vindicated. You're not vindicated in that suggestion. Put it that way. 3-star Red says Arteta maybe needs to throw his hat into the ring for the Celtic job if he wants to win a title. Ryan, is Haaland better than his first season at City? Yeah, I think he is. I think he's more experienced. Obviously, as strikers get older, they mature, they get a little bit more clinical. They tend to. There was maybe elements of Haaland that I thought sometimes when he was younger, he was a bit of a headless chicken, wasn't he? Like he was still a monster. But he kind of chased. He chased things that he was never going to get, and he, as a result, he either knackered himself out or just lost a little bit of positional sense, I guess. He was kind of all over the place. He was a little bit chaotic as a striker. And if he didn't score, he didn't really do an awful lot. He didn't contribute enough. Now, you're seeing him drop deep a little bit more and link things up a bit better. And then he'll go back and get on the shoulder. He's so good. He is so good. He's not going to maybe hit the same numbers as he did in his first season. Because City aren't as good as they were then. But he's absolutely the best player at City, and he's just different class. It shows you the difference having that sort of a player in your side, because City only need one chance and he'll score it. It's just he's so clinical. John says Cherky has 5 goals and assists in about 400 minutes. I know, but that's not really the metric, is it, of who's been better and who's not. Like I said, City have not been great themselves this season. And to be fair, if you're playing behind Haaland, I think there's probably that. There's that to be said about that as well. I think you could put most half-decent number 10s behind Erling Haaland. So maybe we need to take some points off him for the fact that he's playing with Haaland. Here's Doku. Here we go. City have got a chance here. Haaland again. Could be on for a hat-trick. It should be a hat-trick. Oh, good save from Petrovic that time. Nearly a first-half hat-trick from Erling Haaland. Ah, do you know what? And that's a poor finish from Haaland, that. Reece, you could put Benayoun behind Haaland and he'd have 17 assists. Hey, Benayoun was alright. Benayoun was quite good. Maybe less so when he'd come to Arsenal, but he was good for us. Did alright for Chelsea as well, but he was good for us, Benayoun. Benayoun catching strays for no reason. Yeah. Reece that's Reece's like casual player. He just throws into the chat every so often. Is Yossi Benayoun. Three-star red says Bournemouth are going to get ripped to shreds if they continue like this. Ian Davis, City to win 2-1. Well, it's certainly looking like City are going to go into the half-time break ahead. Lee G up to Sunderland. Do you think Sunderland win tomorrow, Lee? Fancy Sunderland tomorrow against Everton. I'm live for that one. Really looking forward to that one. Come on, the Mackhams against Everton tomorrow. Timbo, if City were to win the league, it might be even more of a carry job from Haaland than Salah last year. Nah, hey, Salah didn't carry Liverpool to the league last year. That's shocking. You can't say that. You can't say that. Last year, Virgil van Dijk was different class last year. So was Alisson. You can't say that. Lee G, 1-0 win, mate. I'm hoping for more of a 2 to 3-0. Really put them in their place. Right, here we go. It's going to be a sub, I think, here for Bournemouth. We've got Semenyo down. That's exactly the player they don't want injured and going off. Ooh, yeah, he gets an elbow to the back there. Who is it who goes in on him there? Ruben Neves. The dirty bugger. Ruben Neves, elbow to the spine of Semenyo. Thank you for the gift as well, Lee. Appreciate that, man. Send him off. Send the dirty get off. Did I say Neves? I meant Ruben Diaz, sorry. Did I say Neves? I think it's just because I said Ruben. I meant Diaz. Of course I meant Diaz. Neves is also a dirty bugger. Shocking tackle, basically paralysed Semenyo. Look at him, he can't even stand up. He's definitely, I don't know, is there a spinal version of winded, maybe, where it's like a temporary paralysis? Oh, Haaland doing the robot. Look at him, he's just an absolute mutant, isn't he? He's just an absolute cheat code, Erling Haaland. Everton in Europe. Well, Semenyo, I think that might be his race run. I think that's his night done. He isn't going to play anymore now. I think that's him pretty much done. He can barely walk. He ain't coming back on now. That's Semenyo out. Semenyo is almost certainly not going to play any further part in this one. It's not about him limping here. He literally... He's feeling quite a ridiculous amount of pain in the back from what it looks like. Reece, how does he move that fast? It's unbelievable. It's just training, mate. If I can do it, anyone can. Do you know what I mean? Just got to stick at it. Just got to be disciplined. Just a gift, I guess, maybe. It's just me and Erling. Me and Erling, very few of us can move that quick. 3-star Reds, Everton in Europe. Are they going on a booze cruise? I got stick for saying that early in the season when Everton started well. They started well and Jack Grealish was like, oh, he's player of the month, Jack Grealish, what about him? All this stuff. And I said, whoa, the only way Everton are getting in Europe is if they get Swansea in the FA Cup. That's about the closest they're going to get to it. How's Semenyo come back on and walking? This is like... this is shocking from Anthony Taylor. Reece, to be fair, Key versus Erling in a 50-metre race. My money's on Key all day. Like lightning over the first 100 yards, me. Treacle for the next 49 metres. Bournemouth are nearly men. Bournemouth are nearly men, and Iriola needs 2 more windows for them to get Champions League football. I don't think... The problem with Bournemouth is, as soon as they start to look a half-decent team, they lose their best players. So, like, Semenyo probably goes this summer. Krupi started to look quite good. He probably leaves before he actually starts to settle and play well. So, there's always a little bit of a setback with Bournemouth. But... And does Iriola want to do that? Because I'm sure as a manager it's got to be really disheartening after a while where you're like, I'm building this team and as soon as I get a really good team, I get people knocking on my door saying, I want him, and you lose. Like, he lost 4 players this summer. Kirkes, Hysons, Abani, the keeper obviously goes as well. It's got to be frustrating for him. And you've got to have a real resilience to go again and keep going, right, fine, but we'll go and build a brand new defence. Must be hard work, that. B says Everton could get the conference. Wouldn't rule that out. They could get the conference, mate. They got 1 win in the last 7 games. They're all over the place, Everton. And they can't score goals. Adam, where should Iriola go next? I think he probably, if he's going to leave Bournemouth, it's going to be for a top club. So probably a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, maybe Atletico Madrid. Maybe if Simeone goes, I could see Iriola being linked with that one quite quickly. Yeah, Iriola to Atletico. I think he might even be tempted by that, to be honest. But Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Barca, maybe Arsenal. You know, if Arteta doesn't win the league this year, then, you know, pressure will mount on him yet again because he can't keep spending more than everyone and winning nothing. So it might end up being that. It might be that, Iriola takes a top job in England. Maybe even the City job. Maybe if Pep Guardiola leaves at the end of the season, he goes to City. That could be a good idea as well. Personally, I think Hösler is the next City manager. I'm almost certain of it. How much added time? 5 minutes. 5 minutes of added time here at the end of the first half. B, don't see any reason to completely rule them out. Well, who else would you rule? If I said who can qualify for the Europa Conference League? Like how many teams do you think can qualify for it? Because if you're including Everton, I think you're including pretty much everyone in the league at that point. Like, could Sunderland qualify? Look at where Sunderland are. Could they qualify for it? Because, I mean, you know, Nottingham Forest did so well last season. They've started the year poor, but could they? They've got the quality, haven't they? They've got the players. They've shown they did it last year, so Forest could get up there. Fulham are above Everton. Fulham have finished above Everton consistently. Marco Silva, solid manager, good manager. If you're including Everton, you're including Fulham, surely. Newcastle, Brentford, Villa, Brighton, Palace. If you're saying that they can, even United, anyone, you know, you're talking about pretty much anyone can get Europa Conference League if you're saying Everton can. Liam, you've got more chance of Leeds going in Europe than Everton. Adam, any news on 115? No. Short answer, no. Hassi Omar, you rather have Arsenal or City to win the league? I don't care, mate. Honestly, I don't care. I would, if Liverpool don't win it, I don't care who does. But I think Arsenal have to win it eventually, given the amount of money they spent. If they spend more than everyone else for years and years and years, eventually the pressure has to tell. They have to win it at some point. He's not won anything for 6 years, so I would imagine that Arsenal do. But the way that City are playing with Haaland and the quality that they have, can't rule City out. I don't think you can rule Liverpool out either, but I think still very, very early in the season. But yeah, no news as yet on 115, Adam. I think there was supposed to be an announcement at the end of October, and obviously we haven't heard anything. So we honestly don't know. Haaland carrying City. I know, but you could say the same with Gabriel at the back for Arsenal, couldn't you? If Arsenal were to lose Gabriel at the back, they're goosed. Or Saliba. Gabriel or Saliba, really. It's just that City's style of play is around scoring goals and Arsenal's is around keeping goals out, really. B, you have the top 6, then a big group of teams on a similar level. Everton in that group. Oh, I don't know if that's fair. Come on. You have the top 6. So the top 6 is Arsenal, City, Liverpool. Who after that? Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Newcastle in that group. Would you say Everton are on a similar level to Newcastle? Are they on a similar level to Villa? I don't think they are. Are they on a similar level to United? I don't think they are. I don't think they're on a similar level to Palace or Brighton. Certainly not Tottenham. I don't know. I think that's doing Everton a massive. You're giving Everton huge PR there. I don't think Everton are on the same level as Palace, or Brentford, or Newcastle, or Villa, or Brighton. Reese, quiz for half time, Key. Yes, we have got a quiz for half time. Oh, free kick there. It's gone behind. Good save from Petrovic. Okay, half-time. Manchester City 2. Bournemouth 1. B says, last year's top 4, Spurs and Newcastle. Rest of the league is much of a muchness. Much of a muchness. Palace and Everton are about the same. And Villa and Everton are about the same. I thought Villa were great last night. And Villa have been great recently, haven't they? They beat City, beat Spurs. Yeah, I don't see Everton being anywhere close to Villa or Palace, personally. Adam Hudson-Odoi was once heavily linked with Munich. Nottingham Forest have a great squad. And 3-star Reds for me at this point for Forest. I would settle for 14th finish and a good run in the Europa League and FA Cup. But if you've not got that taste for Europe now, 3-star Reds, if you've not got a taste for Europe that you want to try and get it again next year, is there a bit of an acceptance now that you've had such a bad start that maybe all you can muster is mid-table safety? Adam says Palace is best of the rest. I mean, look at Bournemouth though. Bournemouth have played really well today, haven't they? I'm not sure I agree. I think Bournemouth have been really good. Timbo, you say that about Palace, but they always end up finishing 12th somehow. I know, but we're talking about Everton. There's a direct comparison here been made that Everton are in the best of the rest. You know, much of a muchness. After the top 6, it's Everton, Villa, Palace, Brighton. You know, I just completely disagree. I think Brighton finished 5 points off a Champions League place last year. Everton have been circling the drain around the relegation zone pretty consistently now for 3, 4, 5 years under different managers. It's not just a one-off thing. They've been doing it repeatedly. You know, Moyes comes in and gets a bit of a purple patch last year towards the end to save him. But they've won 1 in 7 again at the start of this year. They had a good August. They started the season quite well, and they've won 1 in 7 since. Liam, Everton have been down near the bottom for years. They get a new stadium and think they're bigger. And B says maybe Villa and Palace, but Everton are as good or bad as anyone else. I think Brentford and Brighton. Certainly Brighton. Brighton 5 points. Brighton 5 points off a Champions League place last year. Brighton are better than Everton. I'd be astonished if Everton finished above Brighton. Swifty, I hope they get relegated. Tell them I haven't forgotten their abuse yesterday, Key. There you go. And user 7485, Brighton, Bournemouth. Yeah, I agree, mate. Bournemouth too. Bournemouth too. Villa, Palace, Bournemouth are 100%. Certainly, yeah. I'm Brighton. Bournemouth, Brighton, Villa, Palace, outside the top 6 are miles better than Everton. And then you've got your Brentfords, your Fulhams, your Forests, your Man Uniteds. We've not even talked about Man United yet. It's funny that no one's even mentioned Man United. Timbo, Everton have always had a top defensive record and have signed a few good attackers now. Eh? A few good attackers? Who? Who's the good attackers? They can't score for toffee. No pun intended. They can't score for toffee, Everton. B says Brighton, Brentford, Fulham may be better all-round teams, but Grealish levels it out. Grealish. Everton fans have wished... We've had Everton fans in the chat today telling me, literally multiple Everton fans, not just like the odd one, multiple Everton fans saying they wish they hadn't signed Jack Grealish. They wish they hadn't signed him. Dan, the points are still close. Only take Arsenal to slip up twice. Yeah, this is it. It can happen. Arsenal pick up a couple of draws, 2 or 3 draws here and there. It all starts to just crumble a little bit. It can happen very quickly. Timbo says Grealish, Keane, Dewsbury Hall and Di Diblin. They'll click eventually, I think. I could be miles off here. Yeah. I think you will. I think you are miles off there. Diblin can't get a kick. Keane Dewsbury Hall somehow thinks he's better than Ireland. Doesn't want to call up to the Irish national team. Grealish, I mean, he started the season well, but he's been pretty poor recently, and Dye has 1 Premier League assist in 18 months. Right. So, halftime quiz coming up. Halftime quiz. This is what I want to talk about. So, I want... Let me see, 1 second. Let me phrase this in the right way. Josh, you've got to say in Dye's class, though, he's the best player by a mile. Yeah, again, that's a low bar, isn't it? It's a low bar to say he's the best player by a mile when he's only got 1 assist in 18 months. And he's created less big chances than Ashley Young has, even though Ashley Young left last year. Sam says Nick Pope is crap. Will forever Sunderland v Everton. Score prediction for tomorrow. I think it'll be Sunderland 2-0. B says that's mad. Grealish probably the best dribbler in the league and brings the X factor. Three-star Reds qualifying for Europe in the league gone. FA Cup win. Your Europa League win is the best option. Staying this season is a must at my time in life. Can't wait another 23 years to get promotion. Liam, Arsenal away to Sunderland next week, so dropping points there maybe. Hey, maybe. Could happen. It certainly could happen, couldn't it? Two, 3. John Farrell, is Grealish even the best dribbler at Everton? I would say no. I think it is Iliman Dye. But he doesn't do anything once he's dribbled. He gets towards the edge of the penalty area and doesn't finish, doesn't do anything with it. Doesn't create any big chances, doesn't get any assists. Doesn't really do an awful lot consistently. Will forever, who's going to be the next Wolves manager? Key, who's in the running for it? It looks like it's going to be a straight shot between Gary O'Neill and Brendan Rodgers, according to the bookies. Adam says set-piece goals won't dry up. The question is... set-piece goals won't dry up. The question is, will teams outscore them? I don't know, you know. How do you mean outscore Arsenal? Set-piece goals could well, you know, they could well dry up. Has Pereira been sacked? Missed? He has, yeah. B, we'll find out. Feel you're going to be proven wrong. When Everton click, they're going to be formidable. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I think somehow, something tells me by the end of the season we'll see that Everton were somewhere near the bottom 5. I think 15th or lower. I think it's going to be that sort of a season for Everton yet again. Right, 1 second. Kane, you okay? Not letting me join. What do you mean it's not letting you join? Oh, for God's sake, I've got to do my bloody capture thing. B says Grealish is too good to be at a team 15th or lower. Well, he won't be at Everton next season, I don't think. I can't see Everton making the deal permanent. They haven't got the money, and he isn't really all that good enough, in my opinion, to warrant the sort of money and the fee and the wages that he would command. Timbo, is that standing desk? Why haven't I ever noticed this? It is, yeah. I'm stood up. I am stood up. To be honest, I used to sit down for this, but I do that many of them. I've done over 500 games this year. I'm trying to shift a bit of weight. I've dropped 5.5 stone. Nearly 6 actually. Nearly 6. So I'm trying to keep it going. Hey Swifty, how are you getting on? If you're still in the chat, let me know how you're getting on. You said you were on this GLP journey as well. Morgan Rogers, Wolves sacked their manager 45 days after giving him a new contract. That's got to be a record. Key, can you do a handstand? Probably, if I had to. I don't know. I'd try. I'd choose not to, though, if I could. Right. Come on. 1 second. Get a treadmill under that desk, mate. Right, okay. So, I want you to name me the top 20 goalkeepers with the most Premier League clean sheets. There's a twist. Has to be from the home countries, right? So we'll include the Republic of Ireland, but we're talking the home countries, so England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, right? So will any of them, the top 20 countries, top 20 goalkeepers with the most clean sheets. So yeah, David Seaman is correct, as is Nigel Martin. Yeah, they're both correct. David James too, he's top 3. Anyone else? Keep them coming. Jordan Pickford is correct, he's number 7. Neville Southall is not correct. No, I was surprised by that as well. Neville Southall, by the time the Premier League started, he was much past his peak. And he didn't have anywhere near enough to make the top 20 all-time English, Irish, Scottish or Welsh goalkeepers list. So that's what we're looking for, by the way. Just a reminder, top 20 goalkeepers with the most clean sheets in Premier League history, but they have to be from England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, Northern Ireland, any of them home countries. Rob Green, yes, Rob Green, number 12, he's in there. Tim Flowers, number 14, correct. Anyone else? Any more for any more? What are we saying? Sorry, Dave Besant. Yes, Dave Besant got 27 according to the Premier League all-time list, so he would feature just inside at number 19. Ben Foster is correct. Yes, Ben Foster's in there. He is number 6, 92 clean sheets. Nick Pope is number 9. Good shout. Joe Hart, yes, absolutely. Joe Hart is in there. Paul Robinson, yes, another one, another good shout. Paul Robinson is in there. Paddy Kenny, no. Paddy Kenny only got 17 clean sheets, apparently, so he's not in the all-time list from his time at Sheffield United and QPR. Any more? Got some Scottish keepers. We have got some Scottish keepers, believe it or not. You're missing out on some big Scottish keepers. Shay Given we've had. Brad Friedel is not English. He's an American. Tom Heaton, yes. Craig Gordon, good shout. Both of those are correct. We're nearly off for the second half here now. Not Mark Crossley, no. Again, Mark Crossley, another one that was maybe a little bit past the end of the first half. The first half of his career was kind of over by the time the Prem kicked off. Not Alan McGregor. No, Alan McGregor. Did he ever play in the Prem? I thought he was at Rangers, wasn't he? Not Rangers. Yeah, it was Rangers, wasn't it, Alan McGregor? I don't remember him playing in the Prem, really. Right, we started, so I'll give you the rest of them. So you've got David Seaman, David James, Nigel Martin, Joe Hart, Shay Given, Ben Foster, Jordan Pickford, Paul Robinson, Nick Pope. All of them you got, right? Number 10 was Ian Walker. Ex-Spurs Ian Walker, you might remember. He played at Spurs for a long time. You got Rob Green. You didn't get Dean Kiley. Dean Kiley, ex-Charlton Athletic and a number of other places he was at. I think he was at West Ham for a spell, wasn't he, Dean Kiley? So yeah, Dean Kiley. You got Tim Flowers. You didn't get Neil Sullivan. Neil Sullivan, Scottish goalkeeper, played for Wimbledon for a long, long time as well in the early part of the 90s. You got Tim Flowers. You didn't get Chris Kirkland. Chris Kirkland, there you go, Timbo. You got him. Chris Kirkland, you're right. Chris Kirkland. Wayne Hennessy is another one. Wayne Hennessy got a fair few. He's Welsh. John Ruddy and Scott Carson, bizarrely enough. Mostly a backup keeper, or at least known as a backup keeper for a long time. But yeah, Scott Carson got enough clean sheets to just about make the top 20 anyway. To be honest, he was at West Brom, wasn't he, for most of his career, Scott Carson. This guy, well done on the win yesterday, mate. It's about time. And this guy, cheers, good to see you, man. Timbo, I was thinking Hennessy, but thought he was back up most of the time. He did play quite a bit for Palace, didn't he? Joe, how's it going? Good to see you, man. Not a great day for you, lads, is it? Sorry, you just came in. I did see you come in. But you just came in as we were amidst the quiz, so I didn't want to get dragged off on a tangent. Semenyo, who, Nunes locking up that random. John O'Shea. Do you remember John O'Shea going in goal against Portsmouth in the Cup? Haaland with a header, very nearly 3-1. It's Luke says not quite as blessed as Italy with good goalkeepers based on that list. And Sam, advice on setting up a football background. I've got shirts on the wall too. On setting up a football background. I mean, you could, to be honest, mate, you can get these things that I've got. I'll send you the link if you want. You can get the same sort of things as I've got. You can buy them off Amazon. They're dead cheap. Or you can get them framed or whatever, however you want to do it. Joe, we weren't even playing, were we? You certainly didn't turn up today. It was a good performance from West Ham. JB the Red, I nearly said Phil Jagielka. Yeah. Phil Jagielka, he had a little stint in goal, didn't he? G. Lawrence, thoughts on Javi Simon so far in the Prem Key? I think he's done okay. I think he's been a little bit underwhelming. I think defensively there's been the big issue for Javi Simons. Like, when you look at how vulnerable he's been in his own half, I think that's been the problem, and that maybe suggests to me how Spurs aren't quite using him right. So I'm kind of reluctant to criticise him because Xavi Simons shouldn't be picking the ball up in the areas of the pitch that he was picking it up last night. And he was getting tackled, he was getting robbed, and Chelsea pressed and ended up getting the goal that they wanted. But I don't think you can be too critical of Xavi Simons for that when it's quite obviously a structural issue, isn't it? It's not a Xavi Simons issue. Xavi Simons is a player you want playing further up the pitch in the final thirds, and they've brought him on for Bergvall, so maybe it was kind of like Thomas Frank's hands were tied a little bit, and he's looked at it and gone, well, he needed Bergvall who can be a bit deeper. He is a little bit more press resistant, and he's got Xavi Simons trying to do that job, so probably a difficult one for the manager, but I don't blame Xavi Simons for that. Blake Griffin, quite a level-headed bloke you are, mate. What do you put that down to? I don't know. Well, what do you mean by level-headed? Let's elaborate on level-headed, because I don't know, I can be a stubborn bugger as well. But I don't tend to... Yeah, it's water off a duck's back, most of it. Most of the criticism you get in these lives and whatever. It's all easy peasy, innit? It's all good stuff. A lot of it is good-natured banter, and some of it crosses the line, but I'm never not bothered. People call me, Christ, what have I been called so far? There's probably been plenty in the lives that we've already seen. Penguin, Scouse Gru, Timu Peter K. What else have I had? You get loads of it. Nice Scouse accent, like it's going to bother me. Ooh, don't hit me where it hurts. So yeah, I wouldn't say I'm level-headed any more than maybe the average, I guess. I don't know. But I appreciate you. I don't know if it was a compliment, but I'll take it as one. Timbo says Simons was bullied by us yesterday. Isn't anywhere near it physically yet. I know, but it was because of where he was picking the ball up. Do you not think he was dropping really, really deep? And that's just not where you see Xavi Simons when he was playing for Leipzig or when he was playing for Holland. You don't get him in that area of the pitch. It's not his game. That's not where he is. It's like us putting Andy Robertson at centre-back the other day. Andy Robertson is a wonderful left-back. We played him at centre-back against Palace. We got picked apart. And you can't judge Andy Robertson on that. He's been asked to do a position that he's not prepared for. And I think that's kind of the same thing with Xavi Simons, to be honest. Timbo, when it comes to Liverpool, Key's anything but level-headed. Everything else is level-headed, I agree. And Joe, level-headed, he called me a rat once. Yeah, I mean, that was mild. That was tame. Rat is basically a compliment for you. Some days. Level-headed except when it comes to rating Jack Grealish. I've not said Jack Grealish is crap. I just don't think he's a player that anyone else in the top six would have. There's nobody else coming in and taking Jack Grealish. That's why he's at Everton. That is why he's at Everton. Decent player. And very nice calves, if you're into that sort of thing. Which, I'm a happily married man, I will say that. I've no interest in Jack Grealish's calves, but I can appreciate the aesthetics of such a thing. Bournemouth chance! Oh, I'm glad that didn't go in, actually, because can you imagine me clipping it up? Just as I'm talking about Jack Grealish's calves. Jack Grealish has got very nice calves. Bournemouth 2-2! Last thing we need. Joel says, should have put Champions League advertisement boards around the London Stadium. We might have turned up. And Reese called me chief once when I said Saka should have a penalty. Was that in the Newcastle? No, it wasn't in the Newcastle game, was it? Can't remember. 2 decent chances now, Bournemouth this half. And Timbo, thanks for clarifying you don't fancy Grealish, mate. That just in case there are anyone in the chat who thought otherwise. Adam, when the fixtures were released, November was supposed to be a tough one for Arteta, but Spurs, Munich and Chelsea in 7 days now seems easy. Oh, you might come to regret that. Bournemouth, far post. Oh, what a touch that is. I tell you what, that was a great bit of play on the left-hand side, and Senesi balls in it up yet again. This is a really end-to-end game, this. B, he's at Everton because Pep doesn't want to give rivals such a player. You don't believe that. You don't believe that. The reason that he's at Everton is because nobody else wanted him. There's nobody else would have taken Jack Grealish, paying a £12 million loan fee, and the majority of his wages. There's just no way at all Everton were going to pay. Do you know what? It's probably going to work out at around about £20 million that Everton have paid for Jack Grealish for one season. That's not value for money. FM No Casuals, Newcastle fans are crying now. And Joe, can you do the FA Cup draw tomorrow? When is the FA Cup draw? Reece spoke about Young Boys once, didn't you, Key? Yes, Young Boys FC of Switzerland, yes, just to clarify. Stephen King, Key, I've given you your space. Not to rub salt in the wounds, but what the F is happening with Liverpool? Man United and Palace battered you, just like Borough got battered. But the money spent, wow, they're terrible. Sunderland better than Liverpool at the minute. Hang on a minute. You've given me space not because of Liverpool. Let's be clear, Stephen. You're a Borough fan and you've fallen to bits, right? You were terrible the other day against Watford. You were terrible the other day. To be honest, you've just fallen to bits. So much for we're going to go into the Premier League next season. Borough are going to be way off it. Way off it. So, yeah, I don't think Borough get anywhere close to it. Isak is value for money. He's not had a kick. He's not played yet, really. Oh, well, he has, and he's scored. But then we've not really seen him start and finish a game other than that. So at least it's fitness. It isn't anything to do with his performance as a player. Timbo, I think Spurs would take Grealish. Nah, I don't think so. And FM No Casuals have to say that was a totally different West Ham side I saw today. How good, I keep saying this, I'm going to keep banging this drum, but how good were Manuel Fernandes and Paquetá in that middle? They were absolutely different gravy. They were fantastic today. That is the Lucas Paquetá that Manchester City wanted to pay 100 million for. That's the difference. Paquetá, since City bid 100 million for him, he's crumbled. He's been terrible. Now, that is the sort of player, if you're turning up like that, that's the sort of player you'd pay 100 million for. £7 p.m-ish. I think I'm live tomorrow for Everton, so I could do. Yeah, if it's on at 7, yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do. Just for you, mate, because we like you a lot. I'll move the start time of Everton and Sunderland tomorrow. I'll drag it back to 7 o'clock, and we'll do the FA Cup. As long as you come on early, we'll do a big build up to the Everton game, and we'll do the FA Cup draw. Why not? Timbo said, Key also said, define Young. Never forget. Yeah, define Young. That one was an innocent slip of the tongue. Probably shouldn't be talking about slips of the tongue when we're talking about Young. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I was asked, who is the best young defender in the Premier League? Is it Lenny Yoro? And I said, define Young. I thought that was a fairly innocent question back. But in hindsight, it probably didn't look great. Robert, should Eddie Howe be moving on? No, you can't be sacking managers. No chance. He's not going to. No one else is going to take that Newcastle team any higher than Eddie Howe. Who else is going to take Is going to take Newcastle on? Who would you want to appoint if you sacked Eddie Howe? I thought Potts was a great addition too. Agreed. Yeah. And FM No Casuals, Timbo says Paquetá is someone I can't figure out. Is he good or not? He confuses me. For most of the time he's been, certainly since this betting scandal and things like that, no, he's been dreadful. But that game today was a real window back into the Paquetá that West Ham fans have loved and why Manchester City were interested in paying 100 million for him. Will says, where's that Jimenez from? He's playing so good for Bournemouth on the right. He's Spanish, isn't he? He's only a young lad. B says, Grealish would improve Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs and Newcastle teams' top player, but wouldn't get in any of them. You think Jack Grealish is getting in ahead of Cody Gakpo? No. He's not getting in ahead of Cody Gakpo. Not a chance. Chance! Oh, 3-0. Who's that? It's Nico O'Reilly cementing his World Cup place. Nico O'Reilly absolutely has to be on the plane for England. He absolutely has to be on the plane for England, this lad. I've been talking him up saying, how the hell is Lewis Skelly getting England squads when this lad is available and starting for Manchester City? Lewis Skelly sat on the bench for Arsenal. This lad is starting for City and scoring for City. It's absolutely not even in question. He is twice the player. He's twice the player. Get him on the plane to USA. This is brilliant. He gets forward, gets into the box and drills it into the bottom corner. Brilliant goal. He's great defensively. He's fabulous going forward. He's physical. He's strong. Big lad. That's what you want to see. He's going to be a great left back in future. Him. Really, really good product of the City Academy. Shit. Robert, we are interested in Paquetá and he and Guimarães best mates, so could lure him. Swifty, I'd still take Lewis Skelly too. No, it's better left backs. I don't think you can take both of them. Doctor Who Mania says, I think there's a very few managers that would do better than Eddie Howe. If you brought in a world-class manager, it might be risky, so I'd leave them as they are. I just don't see a better manager. I don't see, at least for Newcastle anyway, for Newcastle, for where they are, for their level, for what they aspire to do, I don't see a manager who can come in and go, I can take this Newcastle squad on. I don't see it. Timbo, none of England's left-backs start over Calafiori. Calafiori's not great though, is he? Calafiori's no better than... I mean, Lewis Skelly should be certainly getting more games and more minutes than he has been for Arsenal. I don't think you'd be taking him. Personally, I wouldn't anyway. I'd be taking Livramento and Nico O'Reilly. They would be my left backs. Maybe Lewis Hall as well if he's around. And that's before you get on to Jed Spence as well, by the way. Jed Spence has had a really good start to the season, hasn't he? Swifty, I'm a big fan of Lewis Skelly, terrific young footballer. See, I think he's a bit of a liability defensively, Lewis Skelly. I think he's still too young. I like him. I think he just needs a bit more time. I certainly wouldn't be taking him to a World Cup. Joe, the disrespect that Howe gets after a few losses is unbelievable. 2 Champions League qualifications in 4 seasons. Joe, mate, I'm with you. I'm with you on this one. I'm fighting his corner for you because this is exactly what Liverpool have had over the last few weeks. This is exactly the sort of thing Liverpool have had over the last few weeks. Slot, unprecedented, wins a league in his first season. 9 games into the next season, fans are talking about sacking him. It's madness. It's the same thing with Eddie Howe. It's a bad run for Newcastle at the minute. They've not been brilliant. They've not started the season great. But you have to acknowledge they've lost their best player over the summer as well. Big changes. The signings that they brought in, one of them hasn't even kicked a ball for the club yet. Eddie Howe's dealing with a fair few things outside of his span of control. So I've got sympathy for Eddie Howe. I don't think you'd be sacking him yet. Certainly not yet. Timbo, I like O'Reilly. I just don't think it's outrageous picking Skelly either. Much of a muchness, really. Well, to each their own. I would have to disagree, but to each their own. What we saying, sorry? Joe, the disrespect. So we've done that one. B, you would honestly pick Gakpo over Grealish. They're quite similar and Grealish is better at everything. I mean, you say he's better at everything, but Gakpo's got far more goals and assists than Jack Grealish has over the last last 3 years. He's got the same. Jack Grealish has won a Player of the Month this season, and Cody Gakpo has got as many goal contributions as him as well. So given that this is like Jack Grealish's unbelievable season, Cody Gakpo massively outstrips him when he was playing at City, and he massively outstrips him while he's playing at Everton, as far as I'm concerned. So no, there's not a Liverpool fan around. There's nobody. If you offered Grealish for Gakpo, no, absolutely not. And I think if you offered Everton fans, you can have Grealish or Gakpo, they'd take Gakpo. Robert says, I think Eddie Howe will even end up leaving before getting sacked. Our squad is a shambles at the moment. Timbo, Trent should go to the World Cup, but I honestly think he won't. Tuchel's not having him. No, he likes Reece James, doesn't he, Tuchel? I think the way that Trent's playing at Madrid, I can't see him going. Ah, silly. Poor from Doku. Ball comes out. Too easy, and Bournemouth City get it away. Well, it's 3-1, 25 minutes to go, 3-1. This is the scoreline I said today. City 3, Bournemouth 1. Joe, it feels like a brand new team this season. It's going to take time. Before today, we were unbeaten in 5 games from 6, but 1 game loss and all hell breaks loose. It's very true. Very, very, very true. Right. What was we talking about? Timbo, Eddie Howe is a brilliant manager. Newcastle would be mental to sack him. I think it just boils down to who are you going to actually appoint. I just don't see anyone else. I don't think there's a standout manager out there that Newcastle could go and get realistically that would massively improve where they're at. Like, they're not going to go and get Areola. They're not going to go and get Iriola. They're not going to go and get Glasner. They're not managers within Newcastle's reach, in my opinion. I think if those managers leave their respective clubs, they're going to a Real Madrid, a Chelsea, a Barca, a Liverpool, a Manchester City, maybe an Arsenal or a Man United. They're not going to go to a Newcastle or a Villa, for example. I think Unai Emery could be a good replacement for Newcastle. If Unai Emery was up for leaving Villa, there's been a bit of doubt over whether or not he would stay at Villa. And I think maybe there's a changing of the guard at Aston Villa soon. So yeah, if Newcastle were going to sack Eddie Howe or he was going to leave, then Unai Emery would be a good shout. Swifty, they just look a bit tired, Newcastle. Isak really suited that team. And Be Yourself Dylan says, game over. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be game over. Yeah, unless Bournemouth can pull one back in the next maybe 10-15. There's still time. It's not like they've given up the game just yet. FC35, as a Newcastle fan, I am so disappointed and I do not know what is so wrong. What is so wrong with us? Well, we've got a corner to Bournemouth here. Alex Scott about to whip it in. Donnarumma was in major trouble on the last corner. Doesn't get anywhere near him this time. Big Dunk, how's it going, man? And Dave plays pool. Maybe they should go for Regis Lebris. Best manager in the North East currently. Hey, I hope he gets a win tomorrow. I'm rooting for Sunderland tomorrow. If nothing else, I want Sunderland to smash the Toffees up tomorrow. Barcelona 2-0. And FC35 says, Eddie Howe does not rotate players. He has his favourites. Nick Pope, he doesn't play Ramsdale. Do we think Ramsdale is a better keeper than Nick Pope? I don't think he is. Even though Nick Pope has an absolute howler today. And I think he's had a howler a few times this season. I think Nick Pope was responsible for Newcastle losing the game against Arsenal. So, yeah, I don't think that Aaron Ramsdale is an upgrade on Nick Pope. I think, if anything, you'd be conceding just as many. if not more. Dave plays pool. If we win, we go second. That would be absolute insanity at this stage in the season. Well, it wouldn't be insanity. It's still only October. Don't get ahead of yourself. I think you'd still take 17th right now. If someone offered it you, Dave, if someone said, Sunderland, we can offer it right now, 17th place in the table at the end of the season, you're taking it, aren't you? Even though you could go second tomorrow. And hopefully you will be second tomorrow. FC 35, his game against Tottenham was amazing. Even so, Pope shouldn't play every single game. Blake Griffin having a settled goalkeeper and a back four is crucial. Yeah, I would agree with that, Blake. I think that's a very, very astute observation. I don't think you change your goalkeeper very often as long as you can help it. Your goalkeeper needs to stay pretty constant. So, you can rotate an awful lot, but as a general rule, your back four and your goalkeeper should be as consistent as they possibly can. Dave plays pool, says, yeah, of course I would. Surviving is the goal, but feel we will do better than that mid-table, hopefully. Do you know what? At the start of the season, and this is going to sound really arrogant, like, oh, I told you so. I don't mean it to sound like that. If it does, I apologise. That's not the intent. But we was asked at the start of the season, do a prediction. Who do you think goes down, etc., etc. And I thought Sunderland's signings were really, really good. I didn't think they would be a team that would get dragged into it. Xhaka, for me, has been the signing of the season. I think he's been unreal. Diarra, too. Few others in there that have been really good. Ballard, I think, has been different class at the back. Isidore at different times. I really like Mayenda. There's a lot of quality in that Sunderland side that if you did go down, I think you'd be fending off a few Premier League teams who'd be, circling and trying to pinch a few of those players. Diarra in particular. But up to now, here's Semenyo. Up to now, I think you'll be fine. I don't see you going down. I think you'll be pretty steady Eddie this season. I can see you maybe finishing lower mid-table. 13th, 14th would be a good finish for Sunderland. But you'll definitely have a wobble, especially around the AFCON. That's the concern with Sunderland, isn't it? Because a lot of players could be going off to the AFCON. Adingra, Diarra. Is it Reynildo as well is going off? He's going off with Mozambique. Siddiqui as well. It's a fair few, isn't there, that are going off to the AFCON. So 5 or 6 players. That's going to be a big blow for Sunderland for a month or so. FC 35. Can we agree Isak would have been in better form if he stayed at Newcastle than gone to Liverpool? He probably would, but his priority isn't him getting in good form. His priority is to win trophies, which I think the form of Newcastle this season is probably evident that they're not going to win any trophies anytime soon. I think that backs up his decision to leave, if anything. And Big Dunk, Wirtz will be back on loan in Germany next season. Good one. Tierno Barry won't be back on loan in Spain though, will he, mate? No one will take him. Joe, both of Newcastle's fullbacks are top quality, aren't even fit, and Wissa. Imagine when they're back. Dave plays pool. I think you mean Siddiqui instead of Diarra as he's been injured. Siddiqui is absolutely class. No, Habib Diarra started the season, hasn't he? He did really well. When did Diarra get injured? Habib Diarra was terrific when he started the season. Swifty says Man United, same problem with the AFCON. Who did Man United lose? Mazraoui and Burmo. Who else goes for United? Ahmad. Who did they lose? I'm trying to think who else they might lose. I think it's just them 3, isn't it? Is it Ahmad and Burmo and... I don't know. Blake Slot needs to stop trying to play like PSG. Why? That's not a bad. It's not a bad team to try and emulate, is it? Dave Diarra got injured about 2 or 3 games in. I was going to say, I remember him playing really well. What was the first game of the season that I watched? We watched the opening game of the season, Sunderland against, and you won 2-0. It was West Ham, wasn't it? It was West Ham. Yeah, I watched that game. We did the watch along. I thought he was terrific that game. He's brilliant. Yeah, West Ham, that was the one. Yeah, it was a really good game, that, and I thought he was brilliant. He was one of the big signings, obviously, that came in, and he's one of the ones that I've been keeping an eye out because I watched him for Strasbourg last year. Chelsea were very close to taking up the offer to sign him, weren't they? So it was a coup for Sunderland to get him. How long is he out for? I hadn't realised him, mate. I honestly, hands up, I hadn't realised he'd been out injured. I thought he was. Or at least I hadn't realised he'd been out injured that long. I thought he was playing semi-regularly at least. LRD Jameson, I still tip City to win the league. I think City have got a better chance than us. Put it that way. City have got a far more settled squad than us. Big Dunk, we win tomorrow. I can't see it. And Dave says Diarra back in December, but then straight off to the AFCON. It's a bit of a kick in the balls, isn't it? Blake, Harrison Armstrong is a future £100 million player. Us Toffees know about Wonder Kids. He's doing well, isn't he? He's at Preston, isn't he? I'm surprised that you let him go, though. Everton haven't really got... you're not blessed in the middle of the park. So I'm curious. I'm not really sure why David Moyes would have let him go. I'm especially with the issue you've got at full-back. I would have thought you'd have put maybe Garner in at right back or left back and put Harrison Armstrong through the middle. But yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, he's a talented player. Preston are having a good start to the season in general, aren't they? Preston have got an outside chance of the playoffs maybe this year. Be good to see a Preston or a Blackburn and not a good North West team back in the Premier League. Big Duncan's experience he needs. We've seen a fair few like that for Everton over the years. Though I remember Ryan Ledson. Ryan Ledson was another one that Everton fans were going mad on, thought he would be brilliant. Tyler Onyango was another one. He kind of flattered to deceive. Jack Rodwell, obviously, he gets the move to City. But there's loads of players that Everton have brought through over the years that we've had. I mean, it's not just Everton. There's loads of young players like that. You can never really tell until they get a good run in the Premier League. And Harrison Armstrong, a talented player. I'm not sure about a future 100 million one, but good player. Dave, I like the look of the Championship this year. Some teams that are looking surprisingly good. Yeah, if you look at that top 6, it's a bit mad, isn't it? Hull starting to push into there. Watford have started to pick up a couple of decent results. Nobody really expected Middlesbrough to be where they are. The dark horse for me is Millwall. The one team that nobody really wants to come up outside of Millwall fans. Millwall looking really, really consistent. And they might just sneak in. Yeah, Charlton. I don't want Charlton to come up. I can't stand him. I hate him. I hate the manager. I absolutely hate him. Nathan Jones is an absolute nightmare. Swifty, Tom Davis was hyped and failed. Yep. Like Zinedine Zidane with longer Tom Davis, wasn't he? Spoonie, good to see you, mate. Cheers for the follow. How's it going? But yeah, there was plenty of Championship sides who maybe we thought we would do well, and if you look at the Championship table now, they're absolutely miles off it. Like, look at Sheffield United. Sheffield United are basically bottom 3. Bottom 3. Southampton, bottom 4. Leicester City are 14th. Ipswich are 9th. And then you've got in the top 6... or top 7 actually, Hull, Preston, Bristol City were there last season, Millwall were there, Stoke have been outsiders this season. Stoke have started to play good football as well. This whole idea of Stoke City being, can he do it on a wet and windy night in Stoke? Stoke City are playing really good football, aren't they? Ben Doak about to come on for Tyler Adams, and what we're saying, Blake says Nathan Jones, what a manager. Wolves do good to get him. Wolves interested in Gary O'Neill and Rob Edwards for manager. I don't think they're the right approaches for him, I've got to say. I think they've got to go for someone with a little bit more experience than those two. Big Dunk, brother-in-law, head of recruitment at Preston. Ex-Everton said Armstrong way too good for the Championship. City, chance. Cleared away by Bournemouth just about. Be yourself, Dylan. Millwall going up. Millwall v Burnley. Imagine someone getting broken bones. And LRD Jameson, Sheffield United was 6 minutes for promotion to the Prem last year. And now look. Bringing Chris Wilder back has not been a particularly inspired decision. Or at least it's not looking to be a particularly inspired decision. They've lost 3 of their last 5. Blake, tired of Southampton and Ipswich's, need some proper northern blood in the Premiership. Yes, I agree. If you could pick any 3, if you could pick any 3 teams to come up out of the Championship, who would you want? Because for me, I would love to see Preston, Blackburn. I know Blackburn are right down the bottom now, but they picked up a good result the other day. I'd like to see Preston, I'd like to see Blackburn, and maybe Bristol City, actually. I know they're not a northern team, and that kind of makes me a hypocrite, but Bristol City had not been in the Prem before, and they've kind of floated around the playoffs for years and years and years, and it now feels like a good time to get them up. I'd like to see Ashton Gate as a Premier League ground. Coventry. I don't want Coventry just because it's Frank Lampard managing them. Purely on that basis. I don't mind Coventry as a team or as a club or anything, but I don't want to see Frank Lampard up. I wouldn't mind Stoke. I don't want Middlesbrough. I do not want Middlesbrough. I'll be gutted if Middlesbrough come up. I want Middlesbrough to stay down. But yeah, Preston and Blackburn I'd like. Stoke wouldn't be the worst. Hull. I'd like Hull come back up. Hull aren't terrible. Even Charlton. I know they're a London side, but I don't mind Charlton. Or West Brom. I thought West Brom might do well this season. They were my dark horse tip for coming up this year. But again, they've fallen apart a little bit, haven't they? 1 win in the last 5. Borough, Hull and Millwall. That is absolute Brexit. Absolute Brexit promotion. Come on. Right, listen, if you haven't yet, please do go and subscribe over on YouTube. Please do go and subscribe and like and comment and all that good stuff if you can. If it takes 2 minutes, it massively helps me. Make sure you're followed up here as well. Key Thomas, Premier League Dad. I am live every single day. We're live tomorrow for Everton against Sunderland up at the Stadium of Light. There's videos every day, there's clips, football clips every day, where we're talking about this stuff. Everyday football news from around the world, reminiscing about past Premier League players. We do half-time quizzes, all that good stuff. We've got a nice community of people building up here as well. So if you want to be part of it, make sure you've liked and subbed. And it's good to have all you nice people in anyway. Plus anyone who takes the piss. It's always good to have a bit of a laugh as well. Dave, I just want Borough in the hope we hammer them next season. The Weirties derby. Brendan Rodgers could manage Wolves, early candidate. I think, honestly, we talked about this in the last stream, but I really, really do believe that Brendan Rodgers thinks he is above Wolves. I think he believes that Wolves is too good. He's too good for Wolves. And the reason I think that is because he's gone from Liverpool, Champions League club, challenging for the Premier League title, to Leicester City, Champions League club, in the FA Cup, or doing well in the FA Cup and kind of playing around those areas. to Celtic, Champions League club, winning titles. He ain't going to Wolves. He ain't signing for Wolves, not a chance. Elche have got a goal back at Barcelona. Bournemouth with the ball in. Oh, we need a goal back for Bournemouth in these last few minutes if they're going to get anything out of this. There's not really been any action in this second half. Apart from that Nico O'Reilly goal, it's been pretty dreadful. Dave, it's not a derby. They want it to be a derby. They aren't in Tyne and Weir, but aren't really Yorkshire. Blake Griffin, no thanks to Borough for me. Bad for the game to handle 3 sets of Geordies in the same league. You're gonna honestly, they'll absolutely kill you for calling them Geordies around that part of the world. Yanoa says we're in the mud because of new playing styles. Everyone has moved around. Next year we are on our trot. Who do you support? I don't know who you support. LG, who would you have managing Wolves? I mean, I don't care who I would have. Yeah, it doesn't really matter who I would have because I don't really give a monkeys who manages them. But who I think, if I was like one of the board members at Wolves, the manager that I would go for would be maybe someone like Carlos Corberán. Even though he's not the manager that he's not really being linked with Wolves. Carlos Corberán is the sort of manager I think would do well at Wolves. I actually think they end up getting Kevin Muscat. That's the manager I'm almost certain will get the job. Just because of the fact that he's available and he's a Wolves legend. He'll get the fans on board and yeah. Good ball in. Chance for Bournemouth. Oh, lucky. Unlucky. You know what, LFC? Oh, you're a Liverpool fan, lad. Good to have you in. We're not in the mud. But I agree, next year, it'll take time for Liverpool, but next year we will be better, I agree. Callum, got my prediction right so far, and maybe about to get some money back. Nice. LG, Manning doing terrible at Norwich. Yeah, I was going to say Norwich hasn't been fantastic this season. Justin Kluivert's just been booked there for blocking a quick free kick. Oh, that's great play by Savinio. Chance. Oh, nearly 4-1 from Marmouche there. Josh Miller, LFC 2-0 last night. Yeah, played really well, didn't we, as well, Josh? What do you think the difference was last night? You know, Chiesa deserves more time. Not really anyone for him to swap with, though. Very good front lineup. Yeah, we've got the players, haven't we? We have got the players. It just feels like we've not quite clicked as yet. Callum, City has shown enough fragility for us to get a point or even more at the Etihad. It's going to be a really good game that next week, isn't it? Massive, massive game. Looking forward to it. Dave, the difference was Gravenberch for you. I think it was the entire midfield, Dave. I said this on the... I had my match reaction video on YouTube last night. I was talking about how the entire midfield, we just completely and utterly... They couldn't live with the press. McAllister was back to his best. He's been dreadful this season. Like, really, really poor. World class for about 2 years for us. One of the best midfielders in the world this year. League at them all levels. McAllister was back to his best last night. Szoboszlai ended up getting man of the match for TNT. Gravenberch gets a goal. So all three of them. The full midfield was terrific last night. That was the reason, I agree. The three midfielders were just different gravy. And Salah too. Salah obviously as well. You know, it says Sobbo needs to be centre attacking midfield. Oh, I disagree. I think he needs to be wherever he wants to be, which is pretty much all over the pitch. You kind of let... Dominic Szoboszlai is just as much of an asset to us defensively as he is in the final third. McAllister actually playing well was the difference, yeah. I think so too. Lee Cattermole levels. It's true. It is true, isn't it? Lee Cattermole was the is an accurate descriptor, I think, of Alexis McAllister this season. Ryan Aït-Nouri has just come on for City, and it looks like Bernardo Silva's going off as well. We're into injury time basically in this one. Rodri about to come on. We're not happy with Konate yet. Why not? I thought Konate was great last night. Yeah, I thought he was maybe back to his best. I thought he was really good. Won everything. To be honest, I don't think Konate has been the problem for Liverpool at all. I think probably for the last 3 or 4 games, he's been really good. He was good against United. He was good against Brentford. Yeah, it wasn't not terrific, not like man of the match or anything, but he wasn't a problem. He didn't do anything wrong in those games. Breeze blocks up the irons, joking we are shit. Do you know what? West Ham, I just, again, they're a team that are maybe rediscovering themselves under Nuno Santo. And if the midfield keeps working as hard as they did today, you'll be fine. You won't go down. JB the Red, how much added time? It's 5 added minutes. Sorry, let me add it on. 5 added minutes at the end of the second half. Callum, Liverpool set up more narrow last night. Do you think? I don't think it was narrow. I just think our press was a lot better. It felt like the press was maybe a little bit more coordinated. We all kind of jumped at the same time and we forced Aston Villa into a lot of errors in the final third. That's how we ended up getting the Szoboszlai chance. And maybe I'm pretty much the Salah chance. We forced the keeper into making a mistake. Konate's been better than Van Dijk recently. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Joe, game after this. I haven't got a game after this. No, I haven't put anything down to watch after this. We've done 2 today. I did 3 yesterday. What games have we got tonight, if any? Brest v Lyon. AC Milan v Roma. That'd have been a good game to do tonight. AC Milan Roma. Porto and Braga as well. Yeah. Even Betis v Mallorca. Couple of good games on tonight, actually. I might have a little Jack Daniels and watch a bit of AC Milan Roma tonight. That's a decent shout. Do Brest for the jokes. Have to do Milan Roma. Yeah, I'm thinking I might watch Milan Roma. I don't think I'm going to set the stream up. I'm probably gonna just chill and have a little a wee little dram. I've not drank all year, to be honest. I'm not a big drinker, but something I just fancy a little. Maybe it's because we're getting into winter. Just fancy a nice whiskey to warm the cockles tonight. Cockles, I said. Timbo says, do you prefer normal Jack or Jack Daniels honey? Not honey. The honey one is awful. Same as the cinnamon and the apple one. To warm the what? Grow up. At your age. Callum, AC Milan v Roma, do it then. And how much added time? Oh, we've done that one, sorry. Bradley and Salah looked more infield. If you look at the Brentford game, they were both so wide. Maybe. I was going to say the starting positions maybe were a little bit more tucked in, weren't they? And Hassan Hersey, Salah scored because of that great press from Gakpo. Gakpo was good last night. Gakpo's always good, though. I think he's been Mr. Consistent for us this season. Warming his cockles to Grealish's calves. The cinnamon and apple JD is beautiful. I'm not a fan of that. I am far more likely to go for the Maker's Mark or Buffalo Trace and things like that. Just like different bourbons. That's my thing. Oh, you did. Sorry, Dylan. I've only just clocked that. Sorry, mate. Thank you very much for sending that through. Very kind of you. My cockles need warming up, to be fair. It's getting that time of year, isn't it? Do a bit of Charlie as well. Not my scene, mate. Not my scene. To each their own. Different strokes for different folks and all that. But no, not my scene, that. Not at 35. Joe, maybe if you had a few Jack Daniels earlier, you might have shown us the game. Yeah, but which game? Who do you support? The classics are the best. Right. 30 seconds left in this one. And then I will be back for tomorrow for Sunderland against Everton. We'll do it at 7 o'clock. I'll come on a little bit earlier for Sunderland-Everton, mate, so we can do the FA Cup draw. Assuming that it is at 7 o'clock. So, yeah, I'll be live tomorrow at 7. What a Scouse accent. Would you start Wirtz at left wing or false 9? Hard to put him when we just won. I think Wirtz plays a bit part until Salah goes to the AFCON next month. When Salah goes to the AFCON, we switch to a box midfield and we play 4-4-2 with Wirtz alongside Szoboszlai, McAllister and Gravenberch. So those four as a simple box midfield. And then we have Ekitike and Isak up front. Or Gakpo and Ekitike, or Gakpo and Isak, or whatever. You know, it'll be some variant of that up front. But I think Liverpool almost certainly switch to this box midfield that I've been talking about and ranting about for ages. Right. Timbo, have a good one, Key. Nice to hang out again. Always good to see yous. And I will see yous all tomorrow for Everton. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Sunderland against Everton. Come on the Mackhams. Come on the Black Cats. And I'll see yous all later. Take it easy.